Hey, Steve here. I was going to call this How I Made $1 Million on the Racetrack, but I already have that book. Learn a lot about it, but this is a more realistic and a lot more up-to-date idea. Let's just going to outline how I made $248 profit on my $100 bank in the last 12 days. Hi there. Let me start by saying that most people won't be able to do this, not because it's hard, but because it takes time. So if you're not willing to spend a reasonable amount of time watching and betting on the Australian and New Zealand horses, then honestly, no need to go any further with this video. Just hit the stop button, pause, whatever, and just go on to something else. If you're still here, great. That tells me that you're serious. So let's dive into it. First off, you don't need to follow every race, every waking hour. I only said that to shake off the folks who really want to put in an effort. I'm glad you're still with me. Here's a quick example. If you were to bet the first qualifying race of each day over a 12-day period with a $2 starting bank, you would have made $12.95. Big deal, I hear you say. Yep, not very much, but if you were going to use, say, for example, start with a $20 stake, that would be that would be $120 just the first race of each day that qualified. Now, we didn't win every day. We've had 2 losing days, but it wasn't very much. I think it was about $5 all up for those 2 losing days. And yes, $248 over 12 days might sound like chicken feed, and it is chicken feed. It's not a lot. To some people it might be, but if you're going to put in the effort in that, it's not a lot. But we did start with only a $100 bank, so remember that. So imagine if you started with a $1,000 bank, and I'll show you an example shortly. That same strategy would have netted $2,480. So that's not bad for 12 days of placing bets, right? There's some periods of time when you can skip through a few races and see they're not going to qualify. It's not rocket science to find out what races we're betting on. So you can get periods of time where you don't have to be at the computer. But as I said, you don't have to follow it all day. You may only want to do it for a couple of hours, and I'll show you that in a minute. We know a lot of our clients are retired, living overseas, using VPN, VPSs, and this works fine because their FIBO is a cloud software, or you can have it in Excel, Microsoft Excel if you want it. But it's easy to use. The criteria that we do to find our bets is not hard, and the strike rate we have is really quite good. So, and one last tip before I tell you a little bit more is if you don't already have EasyBet Bot Deluxe, then I suggest that you have a look at it because it makes the whole process simple and easy to use. Coupled up with your FabFibo and your EasyBet Bot, and away you go. Right, let's have a look at something that may interest you. Well, you've listened to the introduction. Let's have a look at this. Just one other thing, if you're still with us and you don't bet on the Australian and New Zealand races, if you've got a Betfair account, you can bet on them. They start just after midnight UK time. So if you're an insomniac or that, then you can still bet them if you want to. But the same principle does work on the UK racing. I haven't done as much in depth because I'm asleep when the UK races are on. But when I've tried it and had a back test on them, it's showing good results. So let's just have a look at what can be done. Here are those 12 days that I was telling you about. Okay, so you can see there very small losses, $3.93 and $1.68. Very small losses indeed compared to the profits that we made. The orange line just showing you the $248 profit that we made. But I just want to show you something else as well. If we look at the win rate here, if we look at the win rate here, even on the day that we had a losing day, 62% win rate. We're only betting 2 horses in a race, 53, 33, 60. The blue areas here, this here, and this here, they are the weekend. So over the weekend we made, say, 33 there and 47 there on those 2 weekends that were included in the figures. But we averaged return on investment 13.45%. So for every dollar we spent, we made 13 cents and 13.45 cents profit on every dollar that we spent. Now this is on the Australian and some New Zealand races, okay? So that was my 12 days. Now if on a 100 bank, so if we were starting on 1,000 bank, I'll show you just what it could be doing for you. So let's just get out of here. Stay with me. Saturday, you can see they're allowed 8% commission because Australian racing is 8% and 10% in New South Wales. But they included some New Zealand races, as you can see there, and they were only about 6.5% commission. So we're around about right with 8% commission. And we started the series off at a $2 bet. So you can see there the first bet at Randwick Race 1, $1.20 on the favourite and 80 cents on the second favourite. So this is on the $2 bet that I was telling you about where we started. If we go over here and have a look at the progress, the brown ones are our losing bets, blue ones are our winning bets. You can see there our biggest losing bet on the day was $10 and our biggest winning bet was $10.30. And our highest point of winnings, we were at 34 at bet 41, and at the end of racing we were 34.95. So we went a little bit sideways for a while. But that's what happens. But you could say, look, I'm going to call it quits when I make $10 profit, which would have been here. You would have said, okay, by this race here, race 4 at Randwick, you've made $11.60. You would have said, okay, that's it, I'm out. And that would have been on bet 14. So you wouldn't have had to put in all those other bets. So it's up to you how you want to play it. But this was on 53 bets. We staked $178. We got $222 return. We had a win rate of 53%. Overall profit 34.96, so $35. We had a 20% return on our investment. But let's just have a look here. If we were to start our initial bet at $20. Okay, all of a sudden now we're looking at still our same 53 bets, but we'd outlay $1,700 for a return of 2,222, or as the rich would say, 222. 53, the strike rate, win rate doesn't change, but the overall profit changes to $349.59. Still 20% return on our investment. Oops, that's a bit off the screen, didn't see that. So you see now, dealing with a bigger bank, all of a sudden our peanuts are starting to look a lot tastier, aren't they? Just a tick off $350 for Saturday racing, which started at Randwick Race 1, started at 10 o'clock my time in the morning, and the last race was at Belmont at about 20 past 5. So it's a long day, but if we look down here, there's periods dealing, there's periods there where 100 in front, 100 in front, 200, 270. So, I mean, we could have pulled the pin at 1 o'clock and made $271 at 1 o'clock. It's up to you. But I really do like FabFibo, and this is the cloud version. If you jump on the page, you will see the Excel version, which is a different layout, but the principle is the same. What it does basically, its basic job there is it gives you the stake money here. And this is only the 2-horse one, but that's only part of it, a very small part of it. You can change it to four runners, 1 runner, 3 runners. I like the 2-runner one, but you can run 4 runners as well. So thanks for having a look at this video. Jump on the page, have a look at it, but I really do like it. And if you're from betting on the UK and you're from the UK, it does work there. I just don't have enough feedback yet. There's some examples on the page below. The other thing before I go is you can run as many different series as you want. You can see there I've put the Australian horses on the 16th there, then on the 17th I made another new one, and you can see there the totals totals that they're running, and you can just click on them and continue if you want it from the next day to the next day. But I've started for those 12 days I showed you. I started each day as a fresh start back on the $2 stake. And this was today. It's not on there. This is today. It was only a small profit, still 5% return on investment, only 3 race meetings, a few short favourites, which we don't bet on. It's made $3.41, but 44% strike rate. We're unlucky that one of our good bets didn't leave the gates, but they still declared it a runner. But you can see there after a few races, say after about 3 or 4 hours, we were already $7.49 in profit. If you knew what was going to happen, you could have just pulled your pen then. So thanks for watching this video. I didn't mean to be a bit crass at the start, but people that have already jumped on board are having a lot of fun with it, and I just think that it may suit you. So on behalf of Michael, myself, Steve, thanks for watching it, and have a great day. Cheers.